Back to Introduction to African Philosophy, Part 2. If you have not checked Part 1, please go and check Part 1, then come back to Part 2. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed to my channel, and for those who have not subscribed, please subscribe for more law content. So, under part two, we have issues and themes in African philosophy. We have study unit 4, which deals with philosophical anthropology, and study unit 5, morality in African thought. Study Unit 4, Philosophical Anthropology. African anthropology can be best understood when located within African cosmology or ontology. Cosmology is the study of the universe in its totality, and by extension, humanity's place in it. But since cosmology in some quarters studies the natural order of the universe and accordingly excludes the supernatural order, it is more appropriate to speak of ontology as the proper location of African anthropology. Ontology may be defined as the study of the nature of being or reality in general, as well as of the basic categories of being and their relations. Ontology deals with questions concerning what entities exist or can be said to exist, and how such entities can be grouped, related within a hierarchy, and subdivided according to similarities and differences. We have two poles of African anthropology. Firstly, the intrapersonal pole. In Western philosophical anthropologies, this view raised many philosophical problems as philosophers attempted to understand the very nature of these two entities and how they coexist. In African philosophy, the problem of the nature of both substances and their coexistence does not arise. What arises is the concern on how to maintain a healthy balance between one's bodily and spiritual needs. The concern stems from the belief that persons who are overly concerned about their body well being at the expense of the spiritual dimension of their being are in fact not in touch with their real selves and are likely to care less about other persons. Secondly, we have interpersonal pole. According to the African view of a person is not only related to himself. A person is not an isolated, individuated being. A human being is in an ontological relationship with other human beings and also with the rest of the hierarchy of beings. Without others or the community, the individual's existence is almost incomplete. The human person is therefore never an independent and isolated being. In his philosophy, Menkiti paints about the relationship between the community and the individual. Menkiti maintains that the African view asserts the ontological primacy and hence the ontological independence of the community. According to Menkiti, the African view supports the following notions. Firstly, it is the community that defines the person as person. Secondly, personhood is acquired. Thirdly, personhood is something which has to be achieved and is not given simply because one is born of human seed. And lastly, personhood is something at which individuals could fail. As far as Gyeki is concerned, Gyeki critiques Menkiti. Gyeki's construct in relation to his communitarian ethics addresses the socio-political and cultural problems confronting multicultural communities. He claims that number one, personhood is partially defined by a communal structure. Number two, equal moral attention should be given both to individual interests and community interests. Number three, it is necessary to integrate the ethic of responsibility with rights. Number four, members of the nation state should be considered equal. Number five, in order to achieve nationhood, In a multicultural community, it is essential to move beyond ethnicity. And in number six, in an attempt to form a national culture, attention should be drawn to the elegant aspects of cultures of various ethno-cultural communities. Study Unit 5, Morality in African Thought. We have morality and ethics. Now we are going to distinguish between morality and ethics. The distinction between morality and ethics. Ethics and morality show that they are closely related in terms of their original meaning. In one of his works, Moral Philosophy in African Context, Ilori argues that moral comes from the Latin moralis and ethics from the Greek word ethos. In their original meaning, the two words meant the custom or way of life. Ilori explores this point further when he argues that there is a tendency in today's world to use morals and morality to refer to the conduct itself, and ethics and ethical to refer to the study of moral conduct or the system that is followed. When Ilori searches for morality in the philosophic tradition, he concludes that the conception of morality in this sphere has been more comprehensive. His point becomes clearer when he says, while the everyday idea of the moral is based on conformity to a specified and limited code of conduct, the comprehensive definition extends the concept to include every area of human experience. In Biwaji's essay, Ethics and Morality in the Yoruba Culture, he debunks the common misconceptions about African morality. He mentions them as follows. Moral obligations in African morality are social rather than individual. Morality in Africa has a religious foundation. This is based on the view that Africans are religious in all things. Then he makes two very important points in relation to African morality. The first one is that the basis of morality in Africa is human welfare and not to earn reward from some divine or metaphysical being. However, he rushes to point out that there is a relationship between religion and morality in Africa. They both play a social cohesion role and also bring order in society. Thus, even religion has humanistic interests. Secondly, is that ethics invades all spheres of life in African societies. In fact, even the gods and ancestors are expected to be ethical in their conduct. Thank you for watching this video and good luck with your exams. I hope this will be of beneficial for you. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more content. Thank you, thank you, thank you.